Yo, what's up, you guys? It's your girl, Trudy LPC, and thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of the Selfawareness podcast. Thank you so much for the feedback from last week's episode. I really appreciate it. I want you guys to keep the feedback coming. I really hope that you are being blessed by these episodes, and it's really speaking to you and helping you get in a better place to be able to control and manage your mental health. I have a very special guest with me this week. This is someone whose career I have followed over this last decade or so. I became a fan when they were a part of this movie series that one of my good friend Coquie Hughes did, and I just have been following his career over the last decade, and it's a pleasure to have you with me. He is an actor, entrepreneur, a model. He actually does it all, and I really have watched this person grow over the years, and so I don't want to take too much shine away from his story. I want him to really be able to share those things with you. But welcome to the Self-Aware and Ineffective podcast, Kels. What's up, bro? What's going on, Kels? How are you doing tonight? What's good?
Man, I'm doing good. I just want to say thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure to talk about, things that affect all of us. And I'm here to answer whatever questions you may have for me. And I just, want to have a good podcast for the people. And hopefully this is able to, help someone that may be going through some things as far as transitioning going, or just, being able to find where they're comfortable to do them. You know what I'm saying? To be the best of them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I appreciate you taking time out, because like I said, I've admired your journey to being able to become who you are and really being able to own that piece of yourself. So can we just start off by having you tell the audience a little bit about yourself, your background and history?
2008, I started out modeling with Les Elegance, Don Trella. And, actually before that, I got picked up by someone in the movie industry. And, that's how my modeling career began in 2009. Okay. And then from 2010 forth, Coquie Hughes discovered me. And that's when I realized I had a talent for acting. And then that's when the big movie, the big LGBT movie, The Lies We Tell, But the Secrets We Keep, as well as If I Was Your Girl.
Yeah.
And, I had a plethora of opportunities after that. So I've been in the game for a long time. And I started my transition in 2017. So now with this new embark on life and my new journey, I actually want to start walking for houses and, being able to do different things. But I've been in this career in the entertainment business since 2009.
Yeah. Wow. Respect for that. I don't think I ever saw the first Coquie Hughes film. And I thought I bought her whole collection, but I definitely remember following you from the If I Were Your Girl days. And that was definitely a movement and a moment in the LGBT community, that and between women. I think that really just allowed us to be able to see ourselves. And so, being a member of the community, I always want to bring and shed light to all members of the LGBTQIA plus community. So I definitely appreciate that. So your journey towards being able to transition and accept yourself, like, how did you get to that place in 2017 where you decided, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to live my truth and I'm going to be the person that I know that I was created to be?
Well, it all started 2016 when I was married, and when I almost had the fatal car accident. Yeah. And when I had to learn how to walk again, and my ex-wife had left me, and I think that was the beginning of my journey. As far as to who I am now. And I think when God sat me down and I had to realize, it's like he kind of like paused on my life. So all the movies and all that, none of that stuff mattered. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't on the journey and on the right path. So he sat me down and I had a lot of time to think and assess things. And I think I really came to grips with it when I moved to California and I was on the other side of the earth. Yeah. And I was by myself, you know what I mean? And this is actually when I was sleeping out of my car. I thought about transitioning. I had watched all the videos you could think of on YouTube. Yeah. And, I never really had that close bond with my family like that. So when my grandmother passed away in 2014, I felt like it was more appropriate because she's gone, and now I would believe that she would want me to live my life. You know what I mean? So, and it's funny. My ex-wife, it's the wife that left me. The thing was, my ex-wife was not comfortable with me being a stud, and the thing is, she actually lived a bisexual life. You know, she's attracted to men and women, but to be accepted as far as her family goes in the traditional way of a man and a woman and what a family is supposed to be, I believe that's why she left me. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, I got left behind, but she was the one who took me. Her and the kids were the one who took me up north to Howard Brown, and took me to get my first injection. You know what I'm saying? Oh, wow. And this is even after us being divorced. You know what I'm saying? So, she was more so like a friend, and she felt like, you know, it's time for me to be free. So she, her and the kids took me in. You know, I'll never forget that. And I started transitioning in November of 2017.
Gotcha. Yeah. And I remember that video you first posted when you were first going on T and you started that process. Because like I said, I followed your journey throughout, you know, again, over the years. And so with you making that decision, like, how did you know, like, for yourself that this was a decision that you needed to make in order for you to be
as free as I possibly
can be? Yeah, absolutely.
I felt like I didn't have to live for anyone anymore. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I felt like I need to live for me, and I need to do what makes me comfortable, and because I've never been comfortable in my skin. You know, I always thought that I was never pretty enough as a woman. And then even as a stud, I wasn't boy looking enough to be a stud. Oh. So, you know, I was always caught in this dilemma of like, who am I? Okay. You know, and when my ex-wife left me and I needed to go stay with my mom, I chopped off my dreads and went and got a 27-piece cut. Okay. Makeup and all that, you know. And I was miserable. Wow. I was miserable. And when I got back on my own and started living for myself, you know, it was still much of a journey. But I think what hurt me the most, though, was when my ex-wife left me. Yeah. And I knew it was because of a look and of acceptance. And I don't think I've ever shared that with anybody. And I mean, I kind of understood where she was coming from, you know. And it's like when you trans, especially like female to male, you're easier to bring home for the holidays versus you being scrutinized for being gay or me being an androgynous woman. Gotcha. So I would be able to fit her lie, her truth, I should say. So,
yeah. Depends on how you look at it. Yeah. So you were able to embrace this part of yourself going through that situation. And I know you also mentioned being able to just kind of live for you. What do you mean? Like, what helped push you to live for you?
It's crazy because like I always felt like I was that man. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the things and the abuse that I've seen and encountered myself growing up. I just always felt like I was a protector anyway. So, you know, I just wanted to be comfortable with what I felt on the inside when I looked in the mirror. Gotcha. You know what I mean? And I felt like I was at an age where I was able to actually process what I wanted to do and didn't have anything to do with anyone else. So I was ready to do something for me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that, you know, you have people like, well, you still can't have kids. Well, this is the best that I can get, and I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I think we don't leave well enough alone, or we do too much. I'm okay with this. You know what I'm saying? My clothes fit the way I want them to fit. Okay. So it was just more so me just allowing myself to let everyone else's opinions go. Like it didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I think that's when my self-awareness and self-love came into the picture as well. You know what I'm saying? So it was just more than just a physical change. It was internal as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So did you know, like when you were growing up, did you know that there was something different about you?
Yeah.
Did you ever feel that way?
I always knew, like, I never thought I was pretty enough, and I never thought that I was masculine enough. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, I just knew I was always just different, you know, but actually living this lifestyle, it's very lonely too, you know, because it's still looked at as being very taboo, especially in the urban communities. Yeah. And, you know, this has been around for decades. You know, we all could have been trans as long as we, you know, wanted to do it. And it was like, even when I went to get my first T shot, he gave me the highest dosage, and he was just like, "You already look like you on T already." So it was like the features and stuff was already there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was more so me waiting on myself to accept myself.
Gotcha. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I mean, that's a journey.
It is.
That's a real journey, being able to get to that place where you accept yourself. So, you know, the title of the podcast is Self-Aware and Effed Up. And sometimes we know that we're in a space, but we're not able to truly connect that. Like, how does the title...
And I think that has, not to cut you off, I think that has a lot to do with people being afraid to be alone. And I stand on what I say. Like, I've never went to a funeral, and I've never seen bunk beds in a casket.
True.
You understand what I'm saying? So with that being said, you know, a lot of people, we want to use the Bible and these terms. If God created me in his image, then he already knew who I was before I did. Absolutely. So with that being said, the story was already written. And I think a lot of times that we want to shoot the messenger. You know, God comes in a lot of different ways and abundantly as well. So, you know, my transgender ass, you know, is something different. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I may have a message for you, but you may turn it away because of how it looked. You know what I'm saying? So transition has so much more to do than just a physical look. It's self-awareness. It's mental awareness. You have to be prepared to go through so many things. And to be honest with you, I've never had more respect for the Black man than I do now than becoming one. Wow. You know what I'm saying? We are very targeted, and there's been some blows to this, and it's just crazy. It's a whole nother world. And unfortunately, I did join the losing team. You know what I'm saying? But it's okay.
Not the losing team.
It's okay because I'm here yet.
Yeah. I mean, what matters is that you're happy with who you are, and you're able to embrace that part of who you are, and being able to connect with being a Black man is definitely a choice that, you know, a lot of people wouldn't make, just with police brutality and all the stuff that Black men have to deal with.
Serious.
Like, that's a lot.
Serious. Yes.
Yeah. So good deal. But you spoke a little bit about your process and the awareness of where you have to be when it relates to like just being able to make a choice about being you. Like, is counseling or anything like that, did you ever have to go through anything like that in order to be able to begin or start the process of transitioning?
So her name is Taronda Gaines, and I wish I would have met her a lot sooner, even when I first took my first T shot.
Okay.
She is a quantum hypnosis healer. And to be honest with you, I've never felt more alive and so sure of who I am once my subconscious opened up and released so much negativity.
Oh, wow.
I think that your energy needs to be clear before you make any serious decision in your life, whether it's having a baby, marrying someone. Your chakras need to be clean, because a lot of the times our subconscious needs to be erased from childhood trauma. And, you know, I've dealt with molestation and things like that, and people always, oh, well, that's the reason why you're gay, because you were molested. But there's a lot of victims who were, you know, molested by the same sex, and they're still part of the LGBT community. So that's not it. You know what I'm saying? I just wish that I would have took that approach as far as getting my chakras aligned and my energy field clear, because it would have made this ride so much more smoother. There were times that I think I needed the support that I needed. But what I came to find out is that a therapist or a psychologist, they don't tell you anything. It all comes back to self. Yeah. They just listen and they help you find your subconscious and what you need to do and what needs to clear. It's the same thing. And you can't run away from self. It's like self is the first thing. And so with that being said, it was just like there were times I felt like I needed I needed some support. Mm-hmm. And then there were times I needed to just figure things out on my own. And with transitioning, I spent a lot of time alone, especially when my voice started changing and facial features started coming in. Mm. I stayed alone mostly by myself because of body odor change. And there's a lot to this, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's a wild ride, and I just want to say that, the world needs androgynous women. Mm-hmm. This right here is a permanent decision. Yeah. And I feel like that, if you're considering being trans, it's more to it than just a look.
Yeah.
Your life changes. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want someone to get stuck because of something temporary. All you have to do is heal yourself first. Mm. And when you heal yourself, things will align for you that are for you. So this was for me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I was meant to be not so much transgender, but me, Kels. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's crazy because I get studs, men. And I'm like, damn, I thought that was...
That doesn't change it. I work with a lot of individuals.
It does not.
And it's always interesting to see that dynamic. It definitely doesn't change that. But I'm glad you spoke about, the fact that it isn't something someone should make a decision about lightly. It's something they definitely need to be able to sit with and explore. And for you, it was the exploration around being able to have your chakras balanced. But for a lot of people, they just really struggle with coming to that place of just accepting that.
Yeah. That's because society has taught us to hate ourselves, and we don't know what people have gone through behind closed doors. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? My mother was trying to give me weight loss pills when I was in my adolescence. Like, just let me play sports and grow like I'm supposed to grow, and my body gonna develop. And I wasn't fat. You know what I'm saying? But you're giving me fucking weight loss pills. So what you trying to say? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like. And I think that parents, shouldn't, you had your time, you know what I'm saying? And I think that your child and your offsprings should be a better version of you, not what it is, the time that you lost.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times kids grow up in those environments and the pressure is to be what your parents, and that's not right. That's not cool. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, it's going to always come back to self-awareness.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just getting to know you, what works for you,
Yeah. So how have your family members and friends been since you started your transition? Like, do you have issues with them accepting you or misgendering you?
Well, I'll put it to you like this. If we're out to eat, right, and I look just like how I look right now, say you're my 20-year friend, and a waitress comes up to me, well, sir, what are you having tonight? I'm like, well, I'm having so-and-so. And you like, well, yeah, you gonna look crazy, not me.
Right.
She gonna be like, that's the whole man right there. And then the flip side of it is, it's just like, everybody is not open to my lifestyle, so you can be tampering with my safety. You understand what I'm saying? Because before I even got my breasts removed, I was nervous. I was nervous, more nervous than a hooker in church on Sunday. Like, let me hurry up and get in here and get out. And I got to look under the stall. I get somebody in here. You know, I might not have my STP on me. You know what I'm saying? So,
STP?
Yeah. It's a device for me to be able to release fluids, bodily fluids. You know what I'm saying? In a men's restroom.
Gotcha.
So, I stood on what I believe, and I said, you know what, I'm going to give y'all time, But there's no way you can misgender me. I know now for sure.
Right.
A person looks like you know what I'm saying? So it was cool. And then I went through the Kels. I'll be trying to talk to my baby mom, and I'm like, nigga, I wasn't trying to holler at his son.
Right. What is you talking about?
I wasn't trying to holler at his son, so I damn sure don't want to his nigga.
Right. But I mean, people just, again, I think it goes to their mindset. Like they have to be conditioned to understand that. So
as far as my family, you know, sometimes you just need to love people from a distance. And that's where I'm at with everything and everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't need anyone coming in making me apprehensive about anything that I do, because we all have that self-conscious, that first mind, that frame of mind. It's like, oh no, you need to stay in the house, or no, don't do this. I don't need nobody to come making me and messing up my vibe and my flow. So it's just like, you know, I choose me.
Yeah.
And I've never done that. And it feels so great to be able to do that now. Yeah. Because I used to be, you know, someone that was looking for acceptance. And man, listen, I never seen no bunk beds and castles.
I got you. I definitely understand that.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. But I mean, it takes time to get to that place. So what's one thing you feel like you wish people knew about the trans community?
That we're not, or he or she, we're fucking human. We have a heart.
Right.
Just like you. We breathe air just like you do. We hurt just like you do. Stop making our transition such a big deal. Just love us for the people that we are. We're all spirits. We're all balls of energy. You understand what I'm saying? And if my gender has to be the topic of conversation all the time, then there's something you're unsure about.
Okay. Yeah.
And if you're unsure about some things, then I can talk to you, but don't make me be the bearer of your cross. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't mind being an educator, but then some things are just kind of common sense. You know, you wouldn't like it if someone came to you every day, well, I know it sucks to be a woman, you know, or this, that, and the third. It's like, I'm sure there's a lot of people out here that feel like they're misgendered or don't want to be the sex that they are, but they are. You know what I'm saying? So we're just human like you all. It's not I think people put the wrong focus into things that don't really play a part. You know what I'm saying? Because even if, okay, say I murdered someone, I'm not going to be the transgender. You're going to be like, so-and-so murdered someone at 8:30 p.m.
Right.
You know what I'm
saying? Exactly. Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. We all bleed red, and when the blood touches the air, it's blue. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's
exactly. Yeah, definitely. So I know you have gone on this journey of transitioning. So how do you identify yourself now? Like, because there's always been this debate about even within the psychology community, about whether or not someone is considered now, that particular gender that they transition to, or whether they still identify or hold on to the identity of trans. How do you kind of identify yourself?
I'm not even big on the pronouns, the he and the she's. It's just Kels, Ronnie. You know, I mean, if you must have to explain to someone, he's a cool guy. You know, he does a good job. He's a great actor. You know what I'm saying? But as far as that, like, it's crazy. I think if people really tap into the dynamics of gender, a lot of people are gender fluid. And if men really could accept that they were a woman before a man, we'd have some topics out here. And this is based on science. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm big on respect.
Right. That part.
I'm not big on the gender. I'm just big on respect.
Yeah.
You know, so as long as respect is given, hell, you know, it is what it is. You know, I'm not everybody's cup of tea, vice versa, but I don't let that I don't let that hinder me from learning something. So we can all learn things from anybody. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't really bother me because I know who I am. I'm sure of myself. So I feel like things like that, if they can bother you, then like I said, there's some things you need to be honest with yourself about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Gotcha. Now, I know you mentioned earlier that you went through the process of having your chakras aligned and that whole process, and you saw a hypnotherapist, and that was a part of your journey. But you also mentioned like some childhood stuff that you've gone through. Have you ever been or had an experience with therapy, like regular psychotherapy?
I did. And the reason I didn't continue with that as an adolescent is because I wasn't allowed to talk for myself. So the therapist was like, well, he's not going to be able to see me anymore because he needs to be able to talk. And my parent wouldn't allow me to talk. So that kind of got shut down. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, whenever she can speak for herself, you know, we can continue this. So
gotcha.
I didn't get it. So then I went, like I said, when you start your transition, they encourage us to talk to someone. So I ended up getting a therapist through my medical card and stuff like that through the city, and I had one for like a year, and that shit didn't help. You know,
wow.
I did not really feel free in the answers that I needed until I got my chakras aligned.
Gotcha.
Seriously, I would have been mad if I was paying for that. Because
I can understand. I am curious because this podcast is all about being able to help people within the community, but also to help therapists. What was ineffective about what you got from that experience? Because we need to know how to fix that issue in therapy.
And I feel like she didn't really help me. So it was just like, it was more so like, well, this isn't helping. I was more depressed with a therapist.
Yeah. Okay. So
and I was like one day I reached a breaking point because I've been going through so much like the past year. I had a Jeep, and some particular reason with this Jeep, and it's crazy because I've driven nothing but foreigns. So I decided to get an American car that I wanted, a Jeep, because my dream car is a G-Wagon.
Okay.
And this Jeep kept getting breaking into. People were trying to steal the sounds out of it. People were swapping parts off my car. I put it in the shop to break the truck down so I could bring it back. It was just so much. And I remember it was my time to talk to her. And I was just like, you know what? I don't even know why the fuck I'm talking to you.
Wow.
I have not came to a conclusion yet.
Okay. Well, definitely that's not the experience we want people to have. But part of the problem is maybe she wasn't comfortable working with you. And
and it's crazy because she was the new therapist. And my old one ended up leaving, and I'm like, damn, Jasmine, we've been together for like a year. Like, what happened? And it's like she just didn't know me, and it's just like, well, maybe you need what was it? She's like, maybe you need a comfort animal, a dog, or a pet.
Oh wow!
And I hadn't even tried that, and I almost killed the damn dog. I'm like, this is not for me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I should not be a dog dad right now. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So like, the puppy didn't help, but. Maybe she didn't know me and she didn't know how to engage with my particular story. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like I was standing in my own way. And it was crazy because Taronda, she seeked me out. I didn't seek her out.
Wow.
And she was just like, I charged $300. And, at the time I didn't say, I was like, yeah, I'm going to get to you, when I get a chance. And then she just said, the spirit told her one day to just reach out to me and just to save me from myself. She did it for free. And it was like it's the best feeling I can't even put it into words. It's just like everything's been going my way. I'm not as hostile. I've let go of things that I've been wanting answers to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My focus is more so just on the now and making everything now great.
Yeah. I mean, like I told you, I'm a fan and I've seen your journey and I've seen your growth. Like I remember the accident. I remember all of those things that kind of seen you go through, and then seeing this balanced, newer, better version of you just being able to walk and live in your truth. That's something that's so amazing. And that's something that's the main reason that I wanted you on the show, is because I feel like your journey can help and inspire so many people to be able to live in their truth. So what's some advice you would give to someone else that is considering transitioning, or maybe even they're just exploring like who they are? What would you tell them to help them make that decision about being able to live in their truth?
Be kind to yourself. Every day is a battle. Even we're going to just take the trans out of it. It's a battle to be the best version of yourself every day. Yeah. No one knows what day they're going to have when their feet hit the floor.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Exactly. You have to be what you are seeking. So if you want understanding, you have to give that understanding and compassion as well. You know, the infinity sign is it's an everyday thing, because I think that's in a way of how things should flow. You know what I'm saying? So, be kind and be gentle with yourself and do your research and dig deeper. Why are you not happy with the person you see in the mirror? Is it because someone has treated you this way? Has someone told you weren't beautiful? You know what I'm saying? And know that it's okay to not be okay.
Yeah.
You don't always have to have the answers to everything. You know what I'm saying? And take time with yourself. What works for others may not work for you. That's why so many ways to get whatever, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the results are, there's a lot of ways to get to the end, to get to where you need to go. And I just feel like I wish I could have done this a lot sooner in life, but I probably wasn't ready. You know what I'm saying? And life is it's not a race. You know what I'm saying? I think the ultimate goal is to be able to be free and be who you are. It has nothing to do with what you have material or what you can do, for other people. Just love yourself, and if you don't, you can learn how to love yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, nobody always has the answers, but just be kind to yourself, be patient with yourself, because life is definitely a journey in itself. And it doesn't matter what gender you are. I'm sure it was a journey for Derrick Rose to be a basketball player, LeBron James. That was a journey. He didn't get there overnight. So, he put time and dedication into his craft, which is why he can consider himself, great. So it's what you put into yourself. And that's what you're going to get out of life.
Absolutely. So, yeah. Well, that was a word for me, because I needed that myself. So thank you so much for sharing that, because it does transcend just one community. But it definitely is something that we can all take to heart, just being kind to ourselves, being able to learn to love ourselves and embrace those parts of who we are. So is there anything else that you want to share with the audience about your journey, about your background, history, anything?
Not really. I'm a light worker. And I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for everybody. You know what I'm saying? I didn't transgender myself to get more girls or be more appealing. I did it because it was for me. So if you have not done anything for yourself, start now.
Yeah.
Start with you, with everything you do. And I guarantee the results that you're looking for, you'll get them. Whatever it is you're trying to achieve, do it for you. Always put you before anything, before anybody, because without you, you can't give.
Yeah.
If you're not your best self, you're not going to be able to produce the best things that you're trying to get.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think, and it's And, I know people, it's kind of hard to lie to yourself. People do it every day, and I just let it go. Just drop the mask. You know what I'm saying? You're not it's no race. Life is not a race. And, I'm always here if somebody needs to talk, if I got the time. And just be patient with who you are and where you're trying to go. Because you're going to get there when you're supposed to get there. And until you get there, enjoy the moment, live within the moment. It's the moments that mean the most. Because you can work endlessly and tirelessly to get somewhere, but you didn't even enjoy the moments to getting where you got to be. And that's where the bulk of the experiences of the journey itself. A lot of millionaires I know, they ate TV dinners and they slept on the floor and they went without this, that, and the third. But they enjoyed the process, starting over and over and over and over until they got that solution. And those are the moments you're gonna appreciate. Yeah. Because everybody loves you when you up.
Okay.
Who loves you when you ain't got nothing off and you're not your best self? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Those are the type of people I want around me. They love me through the good, the bad, and the ugly. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta love yourself. Everything is self. Self-awareness is key to having a peaceful life. Majority of the time. You're gonna have some BS, but majority of the time. Yeah. Self-awareness is everything. And I appreciate being a part of your movement because I feel like people don't really talk about the things that really bother them. Everybody's so fixated on reality TV, and those people even hurt and cry and get embarrassed on a day-to-day basis. So, you understand, everybody's battles are different. You can have all the money in the world but have poor health. And then you have people fighting over your money that you worked hard for that never gave a damn about you.
Right.
So always have you at the forefront of whatever you do. Exactly. And you will be just fine. Sure.
All right. Well, thank you again. Like I might have to change your name to Pastor Pressure P on here because you dropping jewels and stuff on us. But I definitely appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to be able to speak with me and let the audience know about your journey so that you can help them. So you said that people can reach out to you. How can they contact you if they need to connect?
You can hit me in the inbox, Pressure P or Rhonda Kelly. I was actually in the works of trying to start something. I don't want to do it based on just trans, but just people who hurt, people who just want to talk about things. I'm not gonna ostracize that because it doesn't need to be ostracized. Right. We're all breathing and living human beings, and we all hurt the same. If I was to throw a cocktail bomb on you, it would hurt, right? You think it just hurt because I'm trans or because you straight, because he's gay and she. So it doesn't matter. So I can be found on Facebook under those two names, and until I get another page where I can just open up a forum for people to feel comfortable. Those are the ways to contact me. They can also contact me through you if they want to hear another podcast about something different. So it's we can have me again as a guest if that's what you like. So it's cool, it's whatever.
Okay. Well, thank you. I'll definitely make sure I put your information in the description of this episode so that people can connect to you because I do feel like you have a lot to give and a lot to sow into people's lives. And like I said, I've watched you grow and I'm really proud of the person that you've become, being able to just walk in your truth and just be yourself unapologetically. So thank you again for taking time out of your
Thank you for having me. It was a blast. I mean it from the bottom of my heart, and I'm praying that this podcast goes and is seen by the right people, and what you're doing is positive. So I'm all about positivity. So I'm happy to be a part of it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And thank you guys so much for tuning in to this week's episode. Again, I will leave all of Kels' information in the description of this episode that you can connect with him. Also, be sure to follow me, Treaty LPC, on all social media platforms under the handle Treaty LPC. Until next time, be safe, be well, and make sure that you take care of your mental health.